What is happening in Internet? J Gaming Dude here, and we're going to be talking about Danmachi Season 4 Part 1. So this was 11 episodes that aired about the end of last year, so near the end of 2022, and it continues on the story from Season 3 after the whole sort of thing that happened with the Xenos, what they're going to do, and essentially the season kind of starts off as like a bit of a aftermath of a bit of a slice of life aftermath of what happened, characters relaxing just a little bit, but also focusing on this mutacious slime monster that seems to have grown intelligence after eating magic crystals that have been found in the dungeon, and they kind of focus on this monster as well as our main characters as they fight. And normally it's a monster that's found in the lower levels of the dungeon, but it seems to have been coming higher up, and that was definitely, I think, a cause for concern, considering that people talk about the dungeon in Danmachi quite a bit, like as if though it was a living being. But yeah, all in all, it continues that particular story, and in a way there are two different storylines in this so far, in terms of what Season 4 Part 1 has provided with us, where the first few episodes, about 4 I want to say, focus on this first bit, and then maybe 5, 6, and then the rest onwards until the end focuses on a completely different plot line, focusing on a disaster that is going to be in the dungeon. Essentially, something disastrous is going to happen that is going to cause everyone to die. Now, all in all, it seems like really the main focus and the focal point of the season is the second half, because they hype up whatever this disaster is quite a bit, sort of over and over. And it does get revealed by the end, and I don't want to spoil too much because I've kind of already vaguely explained the story of Season 1, 2, and 3 in its very lightest form, in terms of when I actually reviewed the recap episode 0 for Season 4, which I will link into the description below, so feel free to watch that. And if you've actually watched Danmachi, I would definitely like to hear your thoughts in the comments below, because this to me was the weakest season for a handful of different reasons, whether it be the fact that there was a focus on two different fights, two different storylines. The first, which only takes up the first few episodes, and then the second part, which takes up the rest. And the whole hyping up of whatever this big monstrosity is falls flat when we finally see it. But then there are small bits and pieces that remind us about the stakes that the main characters are facing during this second, the second sort of main plot that revolves around the season, which then continues on into Season 2. So I have actually seen the first episode of Part 2, of Season 4 Part 2, and it continues on that sort of plot. So they are going for something a little bit bigger. I don't know why they couldn't have done a single 24, well, not even 24, it would have been 22 episodes, because it's 2 lots of 11 episodes. Also, for anyone watching this on Crunchyroll, it turns out that they actually put Season 4 on High Dive, which is why, if you've been able to watch, Seasons 1, 2, and 3 on Crunchyroll, then there's probably a good reason why you're not able to anymore, and that's pretty much why. In terms of new characters, we do get Marie the Mermaid, who kind of serves as the exact same, mechanically serves the same as the Dragon Girl from Season 3. A sort of support character that helps out in times wherever necessary. And they try to introduce this individual as a mermaid, because we've never seen a mermaid before in the series, and so they can kind of come up with the rules for what does this particular race of monster do. And of course she can communicate and is kind of related to the Xenos in a way, but she doesn't truly know what Xenos means, or kind of what they're about. She just knows the individuals who are Xenoses by name. So she's kind of like a little kid in a way. With that said, yeah, when you finally see the monstrosity that is being hyped up a lot, it kind of lowers the expectations a bit until it actually starts moving and doing things, in which case then you kind of realize, oh yeah, everyone's probably in trouble now, like absolutely in trouble, and I could absolutely see everyone dying. And then of course the season ends off with a cliffhanger, because it then kind of has like a part 2 of season 4, which again I also don't get why you needed to split season 4 into 2 parts. It just kind of seems rather annoying to make part 1 so much weaker, because I think part 2 could be something extra special. It's just that it wouldn't have the basic idea of a beginning, middle and end for the most part. This is absolutely the weakest season of Danmachi. I don't know what else to say, but I feel like it was a necessary sacrifice for part 2 of season 4 to really ramp things up. And episode 1 of part 2 of season 4 is an absolute banger, because it gives you the idea that, like, not only is every character vulnerable, but every character is in a position where we're like, holy crap, we're screwed, we can't get out, what the hell do we do? And there are some other characters who have been teased so far that are going around gathering information about the current events happening in the dungeon from the Hephaestus Familia. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Season 4 part 1 doesn't actually pop you back into it knowingly, in terms of like the whole, if you've been away from Danmachi for a while and you jump in, it's not going to reintroduce you or anything like that, and that's kind of what episode 0 was intended to do, so don't expect that. But I think otherwise it's fine. That's the best thing I can say about it, is that there is some good to be had, but it also did kind of get boring in parts, especially during the sort of slice of life-ish point in between the first battle against the slime monster and then the second part. And in fact, while the battle with the slime monster didn't feel like it needed to be there, unless there is more to it that I just don't quite see, as of right now, after you finish part 1 of season 4, you won't know what the heck is going on. So it just misses that sort of beginning, middle and end that you kind of really intend to see when you're going through and actually watching a season of a show. Leaving things off at a cliffhanger is all well and good if you're eventually going to go back to it. But if you don't, and then you look at everything season by season and then do reviews like that, it's not going to do you much good, and in fact is going to be detrimental, because that's kind of how my anime list sorts everything out. So I guess that's really just about it. All in all, I'm going to be giving this like a 6 out of 10. It's okay for what it is and for what it does. I feel like season 3 was a lot stronger, and then I'm pretty much giving it sort of the same score as I did for the recap episode, though I do genuinely hope that like season 4 part 2 does get a lot better, and from what it looks like, it absolutely does. So let's just see how much more the next 10 episodes are going to be like with this season. But yeah, with all that said and done, leave a comment below if you'd like to see other types of content, or if you've watched Danmachi, let me know what you think. Or if you're a reader, also like let me know what are your thoughts. Like, did the first part of like season 4 part 1 actually matter that much, or was it just kind of like a throwaway thing? And if you've made it to the end, give the video a like. That would definitely be much appreciated, because I definitely like the video to go out to more people, and especially when you subscribe, that definitely helps the channel a lot. So yeah, with all that said and done, I'll see you guys next time.